is a magical operation of maximum importance. The initiation of a new aeon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood.
Ah, yes. Welcome to Deadhaus Whispers.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Deadhaus Whispers, Episode 2, Season 3. I am Calypso, as per usual, and we have an exciting episode for you today, like always. And like always, I am joined by my other host, Faceless Mike.
Yo, greetings, what's up, and welcome. Can't believe we're on Season 3, dude. Can you believe that?
I cannot either. It's pretty exciting that we've made it this far.
And since you all made it this far, don't forget to check out deadhoussonata.com. You might want to go pick up a supporters pack, pick some funky merch. Check out the game. It's going to be a free-to-play ARPG from the original creators of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain and Eternal Darkness, and a spiritual successor to Legacy of Kain. You know you want to check that out. And greetings and hello, Wyvern Tamer. Thank you very much. Long time no see, Calypso.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while since I'm going to get copy struck.
We are back. We are back in full swing. Yeah. So apologies for last week's episode, everybody. I know I put it on the video already, but I want to apologize again. Me and Mike tried something a little different. We've gone back to our default formula for now. We might try something different again in the future.
It didn't work, but you miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of a way. So, you do what you do. Right. Now, on to the topic of hand. Today's one is the Faces of Death, specifically Deadhaus. Calypso's not even too sure what I'm going to bring up here today. This is the fun.
I have no idea. At first, I thought it was going to be a Game of Thrones thing, but then I realized we're not a Game of Thrones podcast. We're a Deadhaus podcast.
Well, they're both talking about dead things.
Yeah. There's Faces of the Dead. There's Faces of the Dead in Game of Thrones. Hopefully, Deadhaus will have a better final season than the TV series, at least.
Oh,
One can only hope.
It will. Now, to lead into the Faces of Death, in case anyone didn't know, this is going to be a lore stream. One of my favorites, personally. And the first one I wanted to bring up is Calypso. What do you know about Lord Zorin?
I know that he is a vampire. You play him.
Double bonus points.
Yep. He's a vampire. That's an easy one. You play Lord Zorin in the actual Deadhaus Sonata tech demo that they have out right now for the O3DE that you can download on the Deadhaus forums. And I believe even there's a Discord link as well for the Deadhaus tech demo on the Deadhaus Sonata website, deadhoussonata.com. Yep, you play him in that tech demo. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he's a vampire. He's Kain-like, but not Kain. And that's it. I honestly can't remember anything else, and I haven't delved into the lore in quite a long time.
Do you remember his full name? It's not a trick question. It's a simple yes or no. Don't worry about it.
I do not. I do remember, I think Nagaztak's full name, like Aramin or something, or that's from another series.
Oh, we'll get to Nagaztak shortly. But just for Zorin, do you remember his name?
No, I do not.
It is Zorin von Sigstrand.
I did not know that. I did not know that at all. That's
written in the Necro. Now, why I wanted to discuss this is because each of these characters has a few titles that will kind of hint at their role in Deadhaus, or around Deadhaus, in the world of Malorum, because we're going to be jumping out of Deadhaus a little. But Lord Zorin is also known as Lord Marshal of the Shambling Hordes and the Blood Baron.
That sounds badass.
Now, what do these titles mean, do you think? Like, what do we know of the Shambling Hordes, and how is he a Lord Marshal? What the heck is that?
Well, in my experience, the Lord Marshal, drawing on some Riddick lore, some Vin Diesel Riddick lore, The Lord Marshal is like the king or like the leader of all of the undead within the Riddick universe. So I imagine maybe Zoran is a leader type within the undead within Deadhaus. Yeah, and then I mean the shambling. What'd you say? The shambling
The
hordes.
shambling hordes.
That's badass. The shambling hordes. I mean, that's got to be zombies, man.
My theory was I think that's the informal title or reference given to the army of the dead, like the soldiers, the actual army, or the. Does the dead have an army? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how do you regiment ghouls, like the whites and stuff. I get the lich makes sense. Like ghouls, what do? Throw a bone at the humans and go get them. Go get. Fetch.
Perhaps. I think. Okay.
Yes, it's exactly Wyvern Tamer. It's what he signs.
I joked about Game of Thrones before. But what if the shambling horde could just be the overwhelming army of the undead? Because like in Game of Thrones, you have the White Walkers, and like they're not they're not like an army of White Walkers. It's just the White Walkers because there are so many of them. They didn't even bother classifying them as like a giant horde army because they are undead and they are endless essentially. And then like you have Warcraft there, another tick on the Warcraft handle. You have the Horde, which is just a huge, massive army of all the
also a reference to Genghis Khan. They were known as the Horde.
He had a Horde too.
I like the Horde. Bringing up one Wyvern Tamer points out here, very interesting one that I don't know whether you realize or not. It says, but I don't think it says, it's what he signs Know Thy Phone with. But I don't think you'd sign something with an informal reference. I don't think he signed it. Now, here's my theory. I believe that what we read in the Necro has been written by others. So these are quotes and a reference to whom? I don't think it's Zoran, because a lot of it reads like this is something that someone else wrote down somewhere or something that was spoken and was taken down as notes and then filled in the book. Because a lot of this stuff sounds like something that's either dictated or that was spoken, with the exception possibly of some of Nagaztak's poetry, which may or may not have been put in by him intentionally or unintentionally. And also the Blood Baron. Kind of on the nose.
I love that title. I love that title, the Blood Baron. That's awesome. Like the Blood Baron, the Bloody Baron, who is actually a real figure.
I was going to say, if he doesn't have a drinking problem, I'll be horribly upset, but he's a vampire.
Yeah. I love that title, the Blood Baron. Crap. I was gonna say something. I was gonna expungulate on something or whatever, but I completely forgot what it was. Oh man. Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, so my theory, and I think we've talked about this before, and potential speculation here is that the person who actually wrote the Necro Libriatus, whatever they're calling it now, the Deadhaus Bible, essentially. My theory is that it's actually Alaric. And Alaric actually joins the undead. Alaric.
No, it's Alaric. It's Alaric.
Oh, it's Alaric. Okay. My theory is that it's actually Alaric von Beller, and he wrote it, and I mean maybe Nagaztak threw some poetry in there too, because Alaric at this point within the lore that we don't know of yet anyway is Nagaztak's right hand chronicler and servant and man or whatever, and Alaric is part of the army of the undead. That's why the Necro is so well written, as well as just being a bunch of scraps of other histories and stories from other writers. But mainly it was written by Alaric with some input from other people, like Calypso, or somebody else. Just a thought. Just a thought.
What do you think there on Nagaztak's poetry? Sailor got into Nagaztak's room and fan ransacked it. I believe that.
I believe that. So I mean, that's just my talk. So maybe with Zoran, those titles were possibly given to him by Alaric, by oh, he is a blood baron, and other things. The shambling hordes of the undead. Ooh, scary.
Do you think the Blood Baron title is a noble reference?
Yes. No. Oh, yes. I think it is a noble title because I mean he's a Lord Zoran. Now whether he is a lord from his previous life as a human, or he achieved that status when he became undead remains to be seen. But same thing with a baron. A baron is a noble title, and they call him the Blood Baron because I mean one, he's a vampire, and two, he could be the Blood Baron because he is of noble status within the army of the undead, within like the legions and the nobility of the undead. If they even have a noble caste like that, which I'm guessing they do. I believe that like the army of the undead, of that Deadhaus, is just like a regular human kingdom, only it's full of undead people and creatures and monsters. Like I don't know what else you can do, but
I do believe he's got a bit of history, whether
yeah.
pre or post vampire. I do think there's that. I was just testing to make sure that our little chatbot was working in all areas, which it is. If you're wondering why Deadhaus Whispers smiled there.
Oh, Lord Lucy, like Lucian, because Nagaztak's name is Lucian Aramin, right?
Lucian Armand.
Lucian Armin, yeah, Lucian Armin.
Yeah. Well, since you keep moving on to Nagaztak, we'll just move on to him anyway. So, Nagaztak, leader of the Black Hand or the Black Right Hand, and Malleus Odium, along with Revenant Poet. What does that mean?
The Black Right Hand. Well, the Black Right Hand has got to be a special, or like his personal army. You know how in like Star Wars, how Kylo Ren had like the Knights of Ren.
Oh, the guys that went nowhere. Talk about wasted plot potential,
dude. Completely wasted. They show them for 5 seconds. Like
I didn't even watch that one. I refused to.
Man, okay,
I was expecting some Lord Revan type stuff.
Yeah, no. They it makes you think that way, right? But no. So okay, sorry, sidetracking for a minute. So in Force Awakens, they name drop the Knights of Ren like twice, and they show them like a flashback or something, right? Okay, totally badass, totally super badass lore. In The Last Jedi, they actually show you the Knights of Ren in a really, really cool fight scene. But the problem is that these badass characters that sound so fucking cool, that are like Kylo Ren's personal soldiers or guard or whatever, get wiped out like little bitches. Like they get like the floor mopped with
Dude,
them.
it even showed it in like a flashback, and I can't remember whether it was The Force Awakens or Rises. Was it one of them? It says about leader of the Knights of Ren, and it has this like quick flash cut of him and all these other badasses, looking like a Finnish death metal band standing in the rain.
Hell yeah, it's like, awesome.
Yeah, that could be cool. And then they turn him into an emo kid.
Yep, and then they just ruin it. They ruin it. So, totally wasted potential. So, not going on the wasted potential that I think the Black Hand. Or it's the Black Hand and the Black Right Hand, right?
Yeah, there's two references. One refers to him as the Black Hand, and the other one refers to him as the leader of the Black Right Hand.
Okay, so the Black Right Hand is definitely, it's got to be a Knights of Ren situation where there is like personal guard, or his like personal.
But if he's the leader, who is it then?
Nagaztak. Nagaztak is the leader.
No, but he's the leader, but then what's the Black Hand?
Oh, good question.
That's my
Good-
line.
I don't know. Yeah, that's that. I'm spoilers or whatever. I have no idea. Actually, okay, hold on. I'm gonna throw some Legacy of Kain lore in here.
Yes.
From
Do.
Soul Reaver. So
Oh,
it was revealed to me and a couple of other Legacy of Kain fans by Daniel Kabuko, the lead artist, the lead art designer, and everything of the Soul Reaver trilogy. So Soul Reaver 2, and Defiance. In his retelling of the lore and his design or whatever is that the Duma clan within Legacy of Kain were Kain's personal guard, if I have this correctly. The Duma clan were Kain's like personal SWAT team. Like if you had like different casts or whatever of vampire archetype, you'd have Raziel. His clan was surprisingly like the magical ones, so pure magic and orb casting and stuff like that. The
okay.
wizards or whatever were Raziel's clan, I guess, according to him anyway. Zephon, the spider boss in Soul Reaver 1, and his clan, the spider guys, were
They kill it with fire.
Oh,
They
you kill him
kill
with
it with
fire?
fire. Holy
Yeah.
crap, look, a wild sundowner appeared.
Oh, whoa. Hello, Sundowner.
Wasn't the guy like part of another group when he was alive, like the silver something or other? Maybe this is a new undead version of that. Now you might be on to something.
Ooh, that would be
Now
cool.
this would be really interesting. Yes, he was essentially a paladin, kind of. Not
Yeah,
100%
wasn't
in that one. In
was
life,
like
he was
Aztec?
a leader of some group of paladins. That's this with the silver armor and
Yeah, the
such.
wasn't he the leader of the Ashen Ring before he died?
I don't know if it was the Ashen Ring, but it was something like that. If it wasn't the Ashen Ring, it was that idea, this like holy order of paladins and stuff. Because his death, I know, is important, but that's not clarified yet. We don't know a whole lot about that publicly. There was a thing. He died, and it was very important that he came back and he started Deadhaus. So that's going to be like a major thing somehow, whatever way that shows itself. So
Yeah.
I think Sundowner might be onto something. It's the leader of the Black Right Hand. I know what that is. The other hint might be in his title, Malleus Odium.
That is Roman, if I'm not mistaken, for Google. No.
I know
no.
it, but let's see who gets there the quickest.
Okay.
Throwing it out to the audience too. Who's
Okay,
faster
this
on the
is
Google?
cool. All right, this is cool. So I'm gonna get the answer wrong
Wyvern Tamer, as we call
Google
it,
failed
Latin.
me. However, everybody, if you decide to Google Malleus Odium, Deadhaus shows up. It's literally Deadhaus shows up. All the I'm getting so Deadhaus, Deadhaus, like all the pages in the world.
Now just do one word at a time. Do Malleus, and then do Odium. I love what Wyvern Tamer says, or as we call it, Latin.
Hammer. Oh shit. Okay, so hammer for and then Odium, Odum. General or widespread hatred. Oh man. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Hammer hatred, roughly. Malleus.
Wyvern Tamer put it there. The hammer of hatred.
The hammer of hatred. That's fucking rad, man. That's a cool band name. That is a cool band name. Or a song from like a black metal band or something. The Hammer of Hatred. The Hatred Hammer. Oh, that's so cool.
Man, they're definitely playing Florida the next month, you know. Yeah, so he's the leader of the Black Right Hand, or the Black Hand.
Yeah.
The Hammer of Hatred. What does that mean?
Badass.
What does that mean?
Badass.
I know it's badass, but what does it mean?
The Hammer of Hatred?
Yes.
That's like I assume that's akin to like, your warrior title. Your warrior title. Like if I were a warrior in like, the 1200s or whatever year Deadhaus takes place in fictionally. And okay, you know what? It's a nickname. It's a nickname because like Geralt is the White Wolf and
Mhm.
or whatever.
Gwynplaine.
Nagaztak is the Hammer of Hatred.
But whose hammer?
His
A
big
hammer
old
is
hammer, his
useless.
big
No, a hammer
sword
is
eating
useless
sucking
unless it's being wielded by someone who is wielding the Gaztak. And the Sundowner here, it reminds me of 40k's Ordo Malleus. It's like an Imperium anti-demon inquisition. Maybe this is like an elite military force that deals with a specific type of existential threat. Wow. That's really good, dude. That's
Yeah, that's really
wow.
good.
That's a
I
really,
feel
really interesting answer.
I feel that's way too accurate for Sundowner to not know what the answer is. Sundowner cheated somehow. I feel that's way too accurate. That sounds too accurate. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
really bloody good.
that's a really good look. That's a really good guess or
Now,
theory or
we'll run
whatever.
through the rest of these and we'll come back to them because I want to make sure we get through them all, right? So the next one is Kiva.
Kiva, that's the Banshee, right?
Yes. What is she? Why is she important?
Isn't she his messenger? Isn't she
Whose messenger?
the one of the elder gods that are within Deadhaus? The Lich Lord. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's a different book. Sorry, I've been reading a lot of Brian Lumley. I'm back reading the Necroscope series. There's a character called Lich Lord in it. It's so badass. But yeah, so read those books, everybody.
Yes.
If you get a chance.
Wyvern pointed out that was the opposite of us during Varric's recording, constantly missing the point. So I was on another stream with Wyvern Tamer here, with Bishop, with Varric. It was on Varric's stream, and Sailor, and we were discussing the octahedron and the lore. You all go check it out. Calypso, we'll make sure there'll be a link in the bottom of this YouTube video. You want to check out Varric Keldon. We'll make sure to give that video a shout out. Go follow his channel. He's awesome. He's coming up with a lot of lore stuff about Deadhaus, so you want to check that out. And that's why I didn't want to go into the octahedron on this stream. But yes, Wyvern Tamer puts the point. That's the opposite of us during Varric's stream, constantly missing the point. They did. I dropped a bean or two. No one got it at all, not even slightly. And it was hilarious. The only way I could equate it to is me picking the destination of where everyone's going on holiday while everyone stands outside the car kicking the tires and commenting on the tread.
Did I miss something? Did we?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes, you were invited to that, but I had a feeling I think you were at work or something.
Yeah, probably. Thanks, Bob. Note to everybody who wants to start a podcast: make sure you have a flexible work schedule, so you can keep with regular days. So okay, so wait, hold on. I know we're gonna sidetrack for a minute. Did they reveal anything about the octahedron or within that kind of scope, lore wise, that Varric tried to talk about within that stream, and you guys were just wrong completely?
So Varric discussed his theory, who Dennis is now confirmed as at least partially correct. What he is correct about is the colors. And some of his concepts for houses. Although the houses, it's not too out of the realm of possibility because nearly all the houses are essentially poignantly listed in the Necro. Almost all.
Yeah.
Almost all. And they're like, there is a house of giants, there's a house of angels, yada, yada. I'm not going to list them all. But those were confirmed. And about the colors, the only thing is, where do those lie on the octahedron compared to the pyramid? And then Sailor came up with an interesting theory, but I'm not going to spoil it. You're going to have to go watch the video.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely will recap myself on that video, and I will make sure everybody else recaps on it because I'll probably throw a link down there whenever we are done with this. So
Kiva, tell me about it.
Kiva. Great name, by the way. I love the way that Dennis and Jack write names. Like, I don't know. I know they have a lot of research that goes into like names and naming and stuff. I know it's a huge passion of Dennis's. But I just want to say that I think I love it. I love the way Dennis and Jack and stuff come up with names. Like Kiva, that's a good name. I never would have came up with that name.
That's Irish. It's just spelled differently.
Oh, well, I mean, still good name. Oh yeah, that's right. She's a banshee, and banshees are Irish.
And
So yes,
female.
and female. I did a lore video on that myself, actually.
I do not budge on that boulder. You can make so many. And Calypso's girlfriend, Safi. Hey, Safi.
This is oh yeah, and my girlfriend. I completely forgot about my undead girlfriend. Um, wow, I am a
Isn't
terrible
Kiva a
boyfriend.
Thundercat or something? I
Yeah.
think there might have been.
I think there was a Thundercat called Kiva.
That sounds right. I don't know. Memory is failing me, but that sounds about right.
Yeah. So Kiva, she is. It's in the Necro that she is.
Thought that was Shiva. Reb, hello. Yes, it might have been. I remember watching Thundercats, but it has been a good 30 years. Crossover potential. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Thundercat.
You say that to Dennis,
Deadhaus.
you know. Who owns the rights to that stuff now, actually?
Thundercats.
Yeah. That
Gosh,
wasn't
that's a good
Hanna-Barbera,
one.
was it? Who
Did
was
it
that?
revert back to the original? Oh, I know who. The guy who made
Saban?
the Castlevania anime and is working on Devil May Cry anime now. I think he owns the rights to Thundercats. He bought it and he's working on another reboot.
Oh dear.
I think, unless it's Kevin Smith again, who did just the recent.
Making me nervous now.
I haven't seen the recent He-Man. I hear things about it.
I watched it. It hurt. It really hurt.
Good to know.
I'm not going to go bad mouthing it all over.
Yeah.
Okay, technically I am bad mouthing it all over the internet right now by doing this. But my point was I didn't spurg out on Twitter, was my point. I was just like, I did not like this. I will move on and watch something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have an old Thundercats magazine upstairs. I used to have the figures. They were awesome.
Oh, dude, I had a Lion-O figure I had to sell recently. Didn't get a lot of money for it, but I'm still sad I had to sell it. Like, there's just some things you don't like parting with, but you know.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Anyway, Kiva, she's a messenger. She's a banshee in traditional Irish lore. If we're talking about that.
Messenger from who?
Messenger from the Elder Gods. It's in the Necro. It's in the Bible. It's on the deadhousenada.com site under the lore tab. Under the librarium. It's in the librarium tab.
We got a bookshelf now.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a really neat. Props to whoever designed that.
That was Dennis. Cool.
Props, Dennis. Dennis.
We need to get Dennis back on here again.
Yeah, we do. Anyways, so it's in the Deadhaus Bible. It's in the Necro, and Kiva is a messenger of good and bad tidings. I would imagine for or at least just part of like that pantheon of elder beings that are a part of the Deadhaus lore. Because she's there while the leper prince and the old man, I can't remember their names for the life of me.
The fetid prince and the leper.
The fetid prince and the leper, yeah. Are playing that galactic chess match. Yeah.
I pretty much try to spell out the story to people in that because it's written in the Necro. Like it's actually a very good description. Just most people don't get it. And as Wyvern pointed out, the fetid prince, the leper. I was waiting for you to make a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air joke there, Sailor. Yeah, I was trying to spell things out, but apparently there's some people can't draw dots between A, B, C, and D. Well,
I mean, sometimes reading between the lines isn't as easy as it seems.
Now, I'm going to drop another bomb on you. So, who's Tozy?
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's a lich. That is specifically a female lich, if I recall. I think Dennis spilled some beans on that. I'm not 100% sure. But I think Tozy.
I can't read out Sundowner's comment, but I'm going to give it a lol.
What?
Don't.
No, okay. Nope.
That's funny though, dude.
Yep.
Right. So who's Tozy?
So Tozy is a lich, a lich, and I guess there is some power or a leadership. It's another Oh, that's not good for Blizzard.
Okay, first off, do you know Tozy's name?
No, I just know that it's Tozy, which is
Tozy
another
Maned.
funny but good name.
Tozy Maned.
Tozy Maned. What? That's not
Mhm.
real.
Tozy Maned, the Truth Bearer,
Oh,
Herald of the Dead, Herald of the Dead, Lich Sage, and Archlich of the Noblesse.
that sounds badass too. And the Noblesse are another like special covenant within the undead or
Yep,
the
so we've
royal.
got the Noblesse,
Yeah.
who are kind of the, I don't want to say politicians, but I don't want to say royalty either, but something like that, kind of the upper class, the deciding council-y type members, which would probably be made up of the likes of vampires and liches. And then you've got the shambling hordes, which are the military. We've got the Black Right Hand, which is something that you're still trying to piece together, but that's what we have there. So the Truth Bearer, that's an interesting title, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Nagaztech spouts a lot about truth this and truth that and the real way and the true way. And Tozy could also be doing that in a sense.
Well, Tozy lays it down as it is, because when you read the Necro, Tozy says the humans mistake us for their enemy. We're not their enemy, we're their future.
That is that's so good. That's a good piece of writing.
I love
But
that.
yeah, like I don't know. It's tough. But I think I think you're asking you're asking questions that will be revealed further down the line.
Oh, I've already pointed this out. So with the stream with Varric, everyone had these particular questions, and they said, "Can we revisit this exact stream in about 5 years?" And I can laugh at every one of you for not getting the major hints I was dropping. But with us, we're genuinely discussing it. I'm being very open on that. You know, there's certain things I can't say, but generally speaking, I'm poking and prodding in the right directions. Herald of the Dead.
Yeah,
That was a
that's just a
title a lot of
messenger.
people refer to another person as that. Kiva.
That's
But
just
you notice Tozy has it, and Tozy isn't the Banshee.
yeah, you're right. So that's where the whole messengers of the dead, heralds, speakers, gosh, what else? Like preachers of the dead, heralds, messenger. Yeah. So that could be
Could
it's
there be
like,
preachers of the dead?
yeah, I think there could be
This
preachers of
is
the dead.
really intriguing now. I never thought about this. If there is a god, therefore there must be those who worship them. They
Yeah.
would be considered as part of a religion. So if there is a religion, there is therefore preachers, standard bearers into battle. These are
Yeah.
very interesting ideas.
Yeah. Someone's got to carry the Deadhaus flag while, everyone's being slaughtered like pigs.
I don't think they care. It's
I
not a
mean,
case of
you say that.
representing.
You say that it's not a case of representing or because the dead don't care, they are just. And
The
I know
whole
Dennis
point
said
of a
this too.
the whole point of a standard is so people know who you are. I don't think anyone will mistake the dead.
But that's to say that they're not prideful. Who's to say that Nagaztak isn't a bit prideful and Zoran is a bit. Zoran's a
No, I
vampire.
can see
You know
vampires
he's
being prideful, but I don't see the Gaztak going that way. It would just be pure hatred. I don't think there's an area for pride left in it. The others, yes, I totally agree. Possibly not liches. I'd imagine liches have kind of moved beyond that.
Maybe
They've given up all humanity.
I look at it this way. Spoilers for Dune. If you've not read the books, I'm sorry. It's been set 50 years. If you haven't seen the movie,
He's got it right there.
oh, what's this? Sorry. Isn't there an elder god of death, undeath confirmed? That's probably the deity of worship then, if there is a religion. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a god of the dead.
Yes.
Or an elder god.
I believe that that there's got to be, like, why would there be this really cool symbol if it wasn't going to be on a standard Deadhouse Sonata store .com. Why would there not be some kind of flag or something representing the undead territory, unless it's just like a dead body hanging from like a tree or whatever that like marks that this is the territory of the dead. If there wasn't some kind of pride or like king or whatever, like Nagaztak himself calls himself a leader. He is the leader of the Black Right Hand. He is essentially the king of Deadhouse, or he is the king of Deadhouse. Why would you have all of these positions and titles and peoples or undead peoples
What if this
within
is the
your
only way you
kingdom?
could? What if this is the only way you could get different factions of the undead to function together?
Yeah, that too. You need some sort of some semblance of order. Even though the undead don't care about any of that stuff, you still need some semblance of order. And Nagaztak, I think, knows that from his previous life. In order to get, mindless ghouls to follow you into battle, you need something to rally them all together. In order to get, liches who are just about science and understanding, if they want to work with bloodthirsty vampires to work together somehow. So you have a flag and everybody unites under that flag, that they then carry into battle as a standard bearer. And then there's obviously some religion involved, undead religion with elder gods and beings, and maybe even Nagaztak himself is seen as a sort of messiah like figure amongst certain undead. I have no doubt that there isn't a Jesus complex or a God complex going around, not Nagaztak, but other people see him that way as their Lord and undead savior.
Alternatively, I can see the ghouls having some cult religious mythos surrounding their strange bond with the spirit that makes up 50% of them. That's going to be very interesting. That's something that I think will be shared pretty soon. That's going to be really interesting. So, as we were going back to Tozy, the truth bearer, herald of the dead. That's where we got onto our standard bearers and all. Lich Sage.
Right
Those
there.
two words sound like they don't go together.
No.
What's a sage?
Isn't that a healer?
So
Isn't
a
that
sage is a wise old person, but that's kind of redundant when you use the word lich.
Yeah, because is it though? Because liches are hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Yeah, so you don't need to
Beautiful.
say sage. They are wise. They are old by definition. So healer, maybe, like you said. I
Yeah.
don't know. How do you heal the dead?
That's a good question, because some undead might not have healing factors. I don't think that way, but like here is I can already picture it. I can picture it. You're playing Deadhouse, right? Your character is like badly wounded or something because some human, threw some silver at you or whatever, and you can't heal because of whatever the mechanics are. So you need to go to a lich sage, and they're like, here, buy this undead healing potion for 50 gold.
No, they just die in their physical form, turn to magical,
Yeah.
and get off. If they get trapped, they would expunge into essential form and escape, theoretically. Unless then there's true death, then ain't no sage going helping you at that point.
I'm gonna disagree with Wyvern Tamer there.
Liches are corpses and thus old. Sages
liches.
are old and wise. Liches are not necessarily wise. I would argue saying you would need to be wise in order to complete the transformation to be a lich.
Yeah. In order to get more knowledge, you need to already
There
have a
would,
vast amount of knowledge.
yeah, there would be a special level there. It also means a person considered to have above average judgment or a profound philosopher. You see, Sailor bringing it in there now. Sage Midgard, it should be. There we go. We're getting that. Very interesting. Intelligent does not mean wise. Well, the difference between intelligence and wisdom is just experience.
Yeah.
Intelligence is I've learned something. If I've used what I've learned, it becomes wisdom. What if the lich sages that unhallow you are the priests of death? Oh, Oh, Sundowner. That one is quite
That's a
interesting.
good one.
Oh, now we're working. You've dumbfounded me. That's good.
Yeah.
I will put a pin in that and put that aside. That's something that needs to be brought up. I need to ask about that. That is very, very interesting. That's a good point. And on how I like this concept. Now, then the final one being Archlich of the Noblesse, meaning
That's got to be like a leader of the noblesse.
head lich.
Head lich, yeah. There we
go. Now, the next one. So, who's Baron Eric?
Oh wait, oh wait, hold on. Sorry, my brain. So
Aoric.
Zoran kills him, and he's the
There's a
talking
poem
head
about
attached
that.
to his belt. He's the
He's
talking head
over
attached to his
here.
belt.
Kill him.
He's a Mimir type character, I would imagine, within Deadhaus. That's such a good idea, though. Probably the representative of Lichdom, ahead to play, keep away with. I like that. The man that got ahead in life.
Or in
Keep
death.
it coming, guys. Keep it coming.
In death. I feel like I'm behind. Maybe just a little, Sailor. Don't stress on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, Baron Auric or Eric, Auric.
Aoric, I've been saying, but I don't have it 100%. I'm assuming it's Aoric because that's how Dennis has said it before.
Well, that's a character Zoran kills very early on.
Why, I wonder.
Yeah, me too.
I want to know what happened.
I think it was supposed to be a deal. Like he was kind of like probably a traitorous human and was like, hey, I'll give you this much of the human lands if you spare me or whatever. And then Zoran was like, nah, F you, kills him anyway. And
here's an interesting one for you, Calypso. He's called Baron Eric. Zoran von Sigstrand is also a baron.
A blood baron. It was because
maybe these two things are relevant. A little bit of politics.
Because he demanded something from Zoran. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, let me pull up the friggin' lore. It was definitely a oh, hey, we're gonna be talking, but then like unless Dennis rewrote this, Baron Auric doesn't know who Zoran is, even though they were having a meeting or something. So Zoran just bursts in on him and then straight up kills him. Here we go. I expected to treat with Lord Nagaztak. I'm afraid I don't remember you, responded Baron Auric indignantly. So him and Nagaztak were supposed to have a treaty of some sort, to I'm guessing, divide the lands of human and undead, or to make sure Nagaztak doesn't kill everything and spare my little town or my little fiefdom, and and you can go right along your way. And then Zoran shows up and was like, well, I'm somebody else, and then I'm gonna kill you, and then kills him. And yeah, I expect no further quarter for your transgressions. We will grind your pitiful empire into dust, said Zoran, who moved faster than the eye could see and severed the Baron's head from its body. Oh, that's so good.
Continue. I love the next bit.
Holding the Baron's head in the air, Zoran the vampire scholar proclaimed, alas, poor Eric, I knew him well. Well, not really. Throwing it back to a perfect classic line from Blood Omen of Cain right after he kills Nepractor.
Well done, sir. Good. Well done, Dennis. Well done.
So good.
Alas, poor Eric. I knew him well. Well, not really.
Womp womp.
Expect a lot more lines like that in the game, by the way. There will be some quite tasteful fun with that stuff. But yeah, so Eric had to deal with Deadhaus. It did not go well. Zoran took his head and somehow kept it alive. I have a feeling he did not do this himself. There was obviously assistance here.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's that magical.
Well, magical interference. That had to be.
That's where I keep it. I can't help but wonder. And then Last but not least, Alaric von Bella, Grand Inquisitor of the Thasian Empire. So, what do we know about this chappie?
I mean, a lot of stuff. Well, actually, I'd say a lot, but not a lot at all.
You've heard a lot from him, but you
Yeah, we
know
don't know
nothing
nothing.
about him. That's the fun part.
Yeah, I really like.
Alchemist runs away. Hey, it worked for
That's about
Joseph
it.
Joestar. That's all I can say. Now for my next trigger, run away.
You go this way, I'll go home.
I'll say watch JoJo. So anyway, yeah, I'm still unsure whether he's incredibly competent or incompetent. That's a good question.
Could be a bit of both. I have a feeling he's there for some comic relief, or at least it feels like it. Because every other episode from the audio dramas is, oh no, I have forgotten my satchel again. Womp womp. Like,
I can't do anything without my implements.
I have a feeling he's a colossal goofball without intentionally being a colossal goofball.
I swear, I need George just to do me up some lines for a soundboard for that, because that'd be awesome.
I mean, he is on Cameo.
He's at a convention recently too.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was. I think he did a really cool. I'll throw it in there. I'll throw the George Christmas message,
Yeah,
the Happy New Year Christmas message or whatever into this episode later on.
For those that don't know, we're talking about George Ledoux, who is an absolute legend, who is quite a lot of voices in Deadhaus. Oh, hi, Mike and guest Calypso.
Hello.
Calypso. I'm late, schoolwork and all. Ah, yes. He reminds me of those ghost hunter reality shows where they talk mad stuff until they find a ghost and then they run away scared. Or pretty much anyone I've played Phasmophobia with. I'm not looking at anyone in particular.
Hey, I've seen Phasmophobia, and that looks nightmare fuel. I don't think I'll ever play that, but I do want to play it in VR. I don't think I
was going to say
play
VR,
it, but I want to play it in VR.
You're talking to the dude that went through all of Resident Evil 7 in VR, and that was awesome.
Oh man, that sounds so
good.
That
dinner scene is one of the coolest things. I actually nearly recoiled from getting punched in the face.
In VR? Oh man, no, I just installed the first person mod for Resident Evil 2 to make it more like Resident Evil 7. It's crazy how different a camera angle can make for a video game.
Mm-hmm.
How like first person, like Resident Evil 2, I don't do horror games well at all. Like I that's scary.
He does not. He really does not.
So
which is why we need to make him play them.
Yeah. I love Dead Space, and I would love to see a Dead Space in first person that isn't a rail shooter. Cough, cough, Extraction.
I was going to say cough, cough, Doom.
yeah. I would love to see a Doom in third person. No, but like Resident Evil 2 and 7 and stuff in first person, like Resident Evil 2 in first person, the remake, it's crazy good because like just the amount of detail and the way the lighting works, and like if you're playing it in like 4K and you have HDR or whatever on your TV and stuff, it's so good, man. It's so good.
Didn't I recommend a movie you watched? You said you had a hard time with.
God. Yeah.
One about a haunted house with a young girl with a peanut allergy.
Oh yeah, Hereditary. Oh fuck yeah, dude. That movie gave me PTSD, and I still have PTSD.
That wasn't even that scary, but I agree with you. That was
Hereditary is scary as hell, bro. No,
what about Midsommar?
Sucks. Midsommar
really
sucks. Yeah,
I really like that.
Midsommar. No, I didn't like it. I didn't like the chick, the girl character or whatever. I didn't like her. I thought her boyfriend might have been a dick, but it's not his fault. He wants to break up with her, and then all that bullshit. Nah, Midsommar sucks, man. I didn't like that.
Man, movie. He should have grew up here and just broke up with her and said no.
Yeah, exactly.
He kept delaying, and then crap getting worse. Like that's the universe telling you what were you going to do? Just stay with her until he died, which is exactly
no. Midsommar, I didn't like Midsommar. Hereditary gave me super nightmares. I am scared of the dark again because of Hereditary.
Oh,
They're
that's
like,
what
I
every
can't.
horror fan dreams, though. We watch
Nah,
these things because we want to feel fear like when we were kids. We're just completely immune to it. Yeah,
but
that's the
that's the
whole
whole
point of the
point of the
movie.
movie,
Yeah.
guys. Which one, Hereditary or Midsummer?
Yeah.
Because Midsummer,
No, Hereditary.
Hereditary. No, I get it's the whole point of the movie, but like, okay, excellently crafted film, beautiful acting, beautiful cinematography. I think the music is really good, but that it literally gave like it's. I tell people not to watch that movie. If there's like, hey,
Dude,
should I
the
watch
funny
Hereditary? I'm
part
like, no,
is
do not watch it.
the funny part is when we get into horror movies, and this applies to games and everything, people think all out gore is absolutely horrifying. No, one small thing can be 10 times worse if executed well. I'll give you a prime example. The most horrifying thing in the original Pet Sematary movie is when the kid slashes that guy's Achilles tendon. Nothing really happens. You don't see anything. You just see like a piece of meat getting cut. There's not like gallons of blood everywhere. It's not gore. But that's horrifying. And you feel it. Like right now, my ankles are like wincing up, just even the thought of it. And that's just a small little cut with a knife. But you see, it's these things when done well, like that. If I told you there was a decapitation in Saw, you'd be like, yeah, there's a ton of them. But in this movie, downright horrifying. I personally watch horror movies to get drunk and with friends and laugh. Yes, they're so crap. You need to sit down with a group of your friends. They're so bad, they're good. That's a whole separate category of horror, and that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, yeah. No,
I have to say, they make them tough in Norway. Yes, they do.
yeah. Sorry. No, I don't really, I don't like horror movies, but I like horror movies. That makes sense. Like, I'm more of a, it's weird. I'm more of like a really slow burn thriller kind of
The Witch.
horror movie, like The Witch. Yeah, The Witch, The Lighthouse. Both fantastic movies. Like I like those kind of horror movies. I love the John Carpenter films. Like that he does. I think like that's my kind of jam. Lamb.
Apparently,
There's
he
an
really likes the new
A24.
Halo game.
There's wait,
Just as a
Halo.
weird side. Yeah.
Oh, Halo Infinite. Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow is a great film. I love that. I do have to close my eyes or like turn away at some points for Sleepy Hollow, because it is really like Tim Burton is a master of horror films or whatever. I really wish Peter Jackson would go back to making horror movies.
Von Trier. Yeah. That's a different level of horror for people.
Yeah.
Anything by Lars von Trier.
Yeah, no, I think he directed that movie Antichrist, I think, with Willem Dafoe or whatever. It's really weird.
That's one way of putting his movies. But twisting that back around to Alaric when we're talking about cheesy. Again, what Sundowner brought up before. Genius or coward? Brave genius or stunning coward?
I'm gonna say mistaken genius. Wait. Accidental coward, but mistaken genius.
I don't think he's a coward, though. I feel that, like, whenever he withdraws or runs away, he knows, like, he's doing it because he knows, like, I can't win. That's not cowardice. That's smart.
Yeah, fight or
Like,
flight.
he's like the vampire one being a prime example. That was just death. There was no way he was surviving or beating that thing. That was just death. So I wouldn't call it cowardice to not walk directly into your absolute end. And then the other part where they bring up of it was very important for them of high ranking in the Empire to never be captured by Deadhaus because they were afraid of their information being leaked, that Deadhaus would know all their secrets. And then the funny part is Alaric keeps pointing out that he thinks there's a spy in the Empire because they always seem to know what the Empire's next move is. How the hell would the dead disguise themselves among the living? Like, I know you could glamour and stuff, but there's a time limit on that. Like, you're not doing that 24/7.
Is there, though? There might be a time limit for glamour, like gameplay
For a
mechanic
vampire.
wise. Yeah, for a
No,
vampire.
but
But
realistically, it would be unbelievably draining. You'd give it away. Surely an inquisitor or a load of inquisitors in like the capital would detect a vampire in their presence.
would they though? Would they? Because throwing it back to Blood Omen, when Kane has the glamour ability, that's like toward endgame when he gets the glamour ability, it's infinite. There's no limit on how long he can hold into that glamour. It's he can turn it on and off at will. And what it does is I think it actually gets rid of every vampire trace that he has. So like if he starts to smell bad or whatever, that's gone. He looks like a normal human being again to the humans that are around him. Now, that's to say it won't be different or whatever if there's wizards and everything around within the human capital, and there's a vampire running around with the glamour on. But I mean, I don't know. That's all speculation at my point. Like, what if it is a vampire within the ranks, or
Does it have to be a
or
vampire?
there's what if Alaric has something that he brought back from one of his missions, and it's like a seer stone or a scrying stone or whatever, like the amaranthine thing in Lord of the Rings. There's like a big black ball, and it can
Oh,
see.
so it's rather a two-way situation. He
Yeah,
can see stuff and doesn't realize others can see him.
slap on a fake
And
mustache and blend right
yeah,
in.
that's what I was laughing at earlier. It's like he found and deciphered the white creation. He also found a way to create undead and decided to create them to fight undead. Yeah, a familiar or some form, possibly. There's many different ways. I'm just wondering what would go well because they always seem to know the information from the higher ups. So it's not like someone blending in with the plebs in the village. Like this is someone
Yeah.
who's clearly privy to the higher machinations of the empire. The capital is full of silver and runes and barriers, other things. Also, there is whatever it is in the palace, so it couldn't be a high-ranking member. But they know that information, though, Sailor. Like, you are correct. Those do exist, but Deadhaus knows. The first half of that is guessing. The part about the palace is a thing. At least a high-ranking dead. Remember Alaric said something before about he wanted to take the ghoul back because he captured it, and then he was afraid of stuff. And I think there was something where there was a mention of in the capital, where the dead would never tread or something to that effect. So I'd imagine they would have. Otherwise, the capital wouldn't.
I think I figured it out. This just popped in my head. I might have said this before. We might have talked about this before. I don't remember. What if it was the Lich? What if during that Lich encounter, when like it probed his brain or it saw into his brain, that it sort of created a link mentally to Alaric, and to a Lich. And if the Lich was part of Deadhaus, then that could be a messenger for Deadhaus. And Alaric is unknowingly whatever he sees, the Lich sees, and the info.
So you think it's Alaric?
Yeah. What if
Alaric could be the spy
unintentionally? Though he doesn't know he's a spy, he just is. He's
that
like
would explain with him like commenting about not being able to sleep and stuff.
Yeah, he's like an Alexa in your room that is constantly
because it says no dead will dare enter the palace. Yep. And they say, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So Sailor is on the same boat as you. It's not beyond reason that someone dead could possess an inanimate object at a place of importance, or a spirit could take a backseat in someone's body and be an unseen entity in them. That's kind of what happened with the Lich. The Lich kind of had this weird bond thing with Alaric, because at one point it touched him, it touched his eyeballs. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
And he freaked out.
Alaric,
and then he
he
could see himself through the eyes of the Lich.
Yeah, so maybe it's that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Lich touched his brain, or took a bit of his soul or whatever. Because if you notice in the ending of that story, Alaric feels incredibly uneasy, and it never really goes away. That feeling of uneasiness is just there. Like, you're always something is always watching him, or like there's just something unsettling. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's just something wrong. I'm sure we've all experienced that at one point in our lives. Like maybe it's that, you know?
Yep, and sailors with the it is also not beyond reason a high ranking living could be working for us. That is always a possibility
Yeah.
because I know their humans are terrible creatures and they will throw each other under the bus to to save their own skin, and if they see death as inevitable, they will want a way to transcend it. So of course they will come groveling to Deadhaus.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw in a Lord of the Rings thing again. I can't remember his name, of course, but the king or the leader of that one settlement within Lord of the Rings, where he was possessed by Saruman, and he was just slowly withering away.
Oh, that was through Wormtongue, the
Yeah,
man in
yeah, and so
Rohan.
it's like that it could also be that kind of situation where you have a
Theoden,
leader.
that was it.
Theoden,
Theoden
yeah,
of Rohan.
thank you. You have a Theoden, like you have a Theoden like character who is possessed by the bad guy, or the undead anyway, and like they are the unintentional eyes, ears, and voice of the undead, who might even have an evil assistant, uh, as your right hand within the human kingdom. Like, who's to say that the human king of Deadhouse, the human king of the Thracian Empire, isn't Theoden? You know,
I would think you'd have a problem with that.
because
Hear me out.
Alaric or the other people would notice and be like right away,
No.
like,
Oh no, I'm fully convinced that humans will quite easily throw each other under the bus. That's not the problem. My problem comes in when they perform these actions for Deadhouse as being traitors to their own, and then when they come, I have a feeling the likes of Nagaztak and Zoran are far too militaristic, regimented, and martial to ever accept treachery. So they would just outright torture and murder them. I don't think they'd ever accept them as Deadhouse.
oh, definitely not. No, they would definitely
So there's an
oh, hey,
undead
thanks for the
Radgur.
info. We're gonna kill you now. Stuff like that. Like they would. Well, you are a traitor and a piece of shit. So we're gonna kill you anyway. It doesn't matter if you did it for yourself. You're still an asshole. Like
Do
just
you reckon that's what happened
just
to
because
Baron
we're the
Eric?
undead doesn't mean we're not justifiable or whatever it is. Like we're not doesn't mean we don't have some sort of sense of honor. And I'm still gonna kill you because you're a traitor's piece of shit.
Do
You
you think
know.
that's what happened to Baron Eric?
Maybe. That's very good. Maybe.
That's his torture because
Yeah, like,
Zoran
"Hey, you're a
hates
piece of
whatever he
shit.
did.
Yeah, you're a traitor and a piece of shit throwing your own human society under the bus. And we were supposed
We
to have a
promised.
treaty,
Oh,
but fuck you, we're gonna
beautiful
kill
line,
you."
Sailor. Beautiful line.
What happened? "We promised you death, and we shall deliver." Oh, that's awesome.
I like that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think that's sort of what happened also because he just straight up was rude to Zoran. Yeah, you don't mess with the Blood Baron, Lord Marshal of the Shambling Hordes. Probably not good for you.
Alright, so it's a joke. It's become a joke or a meme, in Game of Thrones where it's like you just constantly say someone's title, and I think this was even, like, back
Oh, I think we had a connection issue.
Queen
There we go.
Queen like Elizabeth, first of her name and the 7 houses and yada 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 and blah 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 blah. Just imagine you're Lord Zoran or you're another high-ranking undead, and like you're standing there for 5 minutes while they just whittle off all your titles. Like I think even in Game of Thrones, like you can look this up on YouTube, I'm sure, where there's an edit where someone just put in all the titles that someone had to say while they were introducing like a king or a queen, and it goes on for like a solid like 2 minutes of them just rambling off all the titles, like first of her name, breaker of chains, drinker of orange juice, like stuff like that.
I'm just thinking back to Blood Omen, King Otmar. Out
Yeah,
of my way, peasant.
the Lionheart or whatever. What was his title? King Art? Wasn't it the
King
lion?
Otmar, the useless and the ultimate.
Yeah, the useless King Otmar, the stupid poopy head.
I just love that with the messenger guy. The thing is like the king will not out of my way, peasant. The statue of the fields hangs over you like a pall.
That's my
Fantastic.
favorite cutscene. That one,
Yeah.
that one, the one where Kane first shows up at the pillars, and is like, "I care not for the fate of this world," and the other one, I really love the battle scene where Atmar is like, "For Nosgoth, everyone!" Rah! Like, I love it. I love it. So
And
good.
yes,
Damn. I really want a
I've-
remake, man. I really want a
we're
Blood Omen remake.
Poetic justice. He wanted to become undead, so he did. Truth. I don't know if you'll get that, but I can promise you better. And I can assure that I can give you my seal on that one. That's why
Bum,
it's
bum,
killing me. I have to keep
bum.
my mouth shut. But yeah.
You got one more week, I guess, before another official Deadhaus stream, I think.
Oh, yes. For everyone else, yeah, keep an eye on that. It'll be the end of the month, last Wednesday. It should be, if I go check my dates, we should be on the 26th. Don't hold me to that now, because things change. Certain things happen, things are in flux and all like that, but should all go according to plan, that's where we'll be looking, which I think will be quite interesting. Basically, I can't wait for fresh eyes to fall on what the team has been tirelessly working on, because I really want to talk about it. That's your birthday, Reb. Holy crap.
Happy birthday.
Early happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to
Careful,
you.
don't sing the other one. We'll get a copyright strike.
Oh, yeah. Man, that's crazy that someone copyrighted happy birthday and it's like forever now. You can't in any restaurant. That's a fun thing. Fun fact, if you ever go to a restaurant and someone has to do a happy birthday or it's your birthday, they are legally bound to not sing the actual happy birthday song that everybody grew up singing because some guy copyrighted it, and it's like copywritten for like forever. And whenever the guy who copyrighted it dies or his family members die and they release the rights, nobody can still use it for like 100 years or something after all their family members are dead or whatever the heck the rule is for copyright. It's crazy.
That's why everywhere you go has their own weird, stupid happy birthday song.
Yep.
Yep. You can blame the Americans again.
Sorry. Our fault.
It's not your fault. Although, here's an interesting one. Just on your vein and topic, Calypso, I found out that the first Florida man was actually from Scotland.
Was the first Florida man actually from Scotland?
Yes, the first Florida man. I'll tell you more about that later. For anyone else, look him up. Just go look up Count Dankula's Mad Lads. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get there. You can go check those out, but I won't spoil it because, again, good reason to go watch the video. His name was Gregor McGregor.
That's the most Scottish name I've ever heard.
Gregor McGregor. Yeah. You need to go look it up. That was a great one, Sundowner. Yes, it was. Yeah, he was the first Florida man. The first Florida man in Florida was a Scotsman.
Like copywriting Baba Black Sheep. Yes, exactly. I actually think Baba Black Sheep has a copyright also.
I think a load of those ended up getting up, but if you legitimately tried to do something, you could probably beat it in court because they were public domain before copywriting. The problem is no one wants to spend that money because that gets expensive. Just to fight it in court is expensive.
I think what gets me most is about copyright stuff, sidetracking again. I think what gets me most about copywriting stuff is that if something is in the public domain, huge companies that have made something similar that is to something in the public domain will still try to copyright strike you or whatever, even though what you've made is in the public domain, so you legally can. But because
most of them don't know what fair use is. Most of them don't even understand what fair use is or anything.
No, they don't.
That. Transformative works.
What is it? I remember American McGee, famous game designer, one of my favorites. He has a bunch of Alice games, right? And he's working on another one. Go check it out. Alice 3 is being worked on. So Disney tried to copyright him back in the early 2000s when he was working on the first Alice game. But Alice is a public domain. And their excuse was, well, it's Alice in Wonderland is the title or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So to avoid that copyright and to avoid going to court, apart from him slapping his name on the box for like public recognition and everything, he legally had to throw his name on the box or he would get sued by Disney.
That's why it's called American McGee's Alice rather
Yep,
than Alice in
that's one
Wonderland.
of the only reasons. It's like the only reason like Prey 2016 by Bethesda had to name its game Prey was so they could hold on to the rights for the Prey name, but it's a word. You cannot copyright Prey, but they somehow
I
managed
know.
to do that. They
You
somehow
get
managed
people
to do
trying
that.
to do
It
that.
doesn't
Remember
make sense.
Bethesda trying to copyright scrolls? And who was it? One of them
Yep.
Kardashians tried to like copyright the word kimono or something stupid
Yeah,
like
something
that.
dumb like
Again, I think when you do something like that, it's so grossly, fantastically stupid and fueled entirely by greed, you should suffer the same punishment as if you were being struck by the rules that they are trying to enforce. Like
yeah,
Disney, for
ridiculous.
example, whenever they put a copyright claim on something that they actually stole from other cultures and made into stuff, because all of that crap is all either Hans Christian Andersen, Indian folk tales, African folk tales, Shakespeare. Don't know if you know how many times they've sold you Hamlet.
Oh yeah.
Like they just keep going it, and then like you said, they go to America. Oh, that belongs to us. It's like cool. No, it doesn't. Here's your lawsuit for like $10 bajillion for even attempting that, and you're going to get back in your box. Put the mouse back in the box. You know. Because that's like
Yep.
the fact that they can get away with that is nuts. I say that we're probably owned by Disney by the end of this podcast. They own everything.
Okay. Today on the next episode of Deadhaus Whispers, we are now a part of we are now part of Disney. We have merged with them. They have bought us out.
We've been bought over. Our platform has been bought over. Our technology has been bought over by Disney,
if we get a
AOL, and
couple million,
Alphabet.
if
We said no to
settle out of
Meta. They
court,
lowballed it too much.
yep. If we settle out of court with Disney and they give us a couple $1 million, I'm perfectly fine being under that, under the mouse.
I thought you worked across the road from the mouse.
I do actually work across the road from the mouse, which is ironic.
You work for the rival to the mouse.
I do. It's so funny. People will walk into Universal. I work at Universal Studios, by the way, everybody. People will walk into Universal wearing Disney apparel and the Mickey Mouse ears, and they will literally go up to me and ask me, "Where's this ride? Where's that ride?" I'm like, we are not part of them. Like they'll buy tickets. They'll buy tickets and think they can go to Disney after they come to Universal. Like,
I think there was a part of that next stream, us with mouse ears.
I mean, I got a pair or two.
I think no, Calypso. I think the mistake comes in there is this is for tourists anyway. Anyone that's native or anywhere near native, that's on them. But as a tourist, because we get these all the time in Ireland, it's like go visit Florida and all this, go to all the friggin' tourist parks and all like that. You can buy like a ticket. And you can cash it in to get tickets for every park for like Six Flags, Universal, Disney, and all like that. It's like for a family ticket, like 2 adults, 2 kids, it's like $600, but it's like entrance to every theme park.
That's really cool
in that area and stuff like that. So that's why I think some of those make a mistake. If they've got an American accent, it's on them.
Do they have an Irish Disney? Is that a thing yet?
Oh God, no. The one in France is bad enough.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do have an Irish France. Never mind. They wouldn't.
Not an Irish France.
They do have a Disney France. Yeah, Irish France.
Irish France. That one pub, McGettigan's down the Champs Elysees.
I really want to go to Shanghai
It's called
Disney,
Molly's.
though. No lie.
Every Irish pub outside of Ireland is always called Molly's. I don't know why.
Is it?
Anywhere I've been in the States, I've been in England and all, and there's always an Irish bar. They always want to go, oh, come on, we'll go to the Irish bar. It's like, I'm from Ireland. Like, but anyway, and then they bring me to an American Irish bar, and it's called Molly's. And like, how bloody original! Look, it's got a shamrock in the O. Yay!
Yep. No, when I lived in New York, there was an Irish pub like a block from my apartment complex, right?
To be fair, most of New York was like 50% Irish, 50% Africans at one point in time.
No, there was an Irish pub, actually really good food too. But it was called Flanagan's.
Of course it was.
Of course. No, exactly. I was like, no way. And then the A is a shamrock. I was like, oh, come on. Like, great restaurant, but hilarious that it decided to go with Flanagan's, Molly's, or what's another like really one that's used all the time for like Irish pubs, like O'Donoghue's or something like that. Is
They
like
just take a random Irish name, put an O in front of it, and there you go.
Yep. It's Irish. Patrick's.
Just for clarification, I've never been in a pub in this country that has a bicycle on the wall. I'm just putting that out there. They don't exist. If the only time you'll ever see a bicycle in the wall of an Irish pub is after a really nasty fight with two idiots that have already been put off the road and had their license suspended. That's the only time. Oh, Saharas.
Oh, Saharas. That's good. That's good.
Oh, that's as good as in America whenever they decide to start coming up with the names. Or instead of O'Mahony, they call it Mahoney.
100% correct. Oh, Mahoney's. Oh, Mahoney's. Oh, Jesus.
I don't know the accent. Anyway, we digress. Roll it back in. We were on Alaric because we're going to finish up with Alaric now, and we'll call it at that. So, funny fact. Zoran. Now keep in mind here. We go Nagaztak.
Yeah.
Zoran.
Yeah.
Kiva. Tozy. We've almost got a hand, and we're only missing 2 classes. What was he called again?
Could the black right hand be each segment or faction of the undead?
Or the horde?
Or the main ones. Like you have
the
like
horde,
the big
noblesse. All of these things put together are fingers on the black hand.
Yeah. Could that be it?
You see? I've seen an Irish pub owned by Irish lads who went to the Netherlands to marry, I believe, with a bike on the wall because I was, oh Lord. Oh,
a race cyclist bar. Oh,
well, that's slightly on theme with the bike. But yeah, so vampire, banshee,
vampire, banshee, lich, revenant.
We're just missing a thumb out of the 7 classes.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm thinking of what the main ones are. So you got vampire, banshee, lich, revenant, and then it's either a ghoul or a wight. But I would imagine
ghoul, wraith, and wight. I'm sure there's an
wraith,
important wraith.
Sorry, wraith is the last one. Wraith is the last one out of like the main like class. Then you have wight and ghoul are like, you know, the 2 like I don't want to say at least important, but you know, out of the like sentience or whatever, out of the like able to control.
I think ghouls might surprise you.
I mean, I don't know. Are ghouls smart enough? Like, are they just rabid dogs and like creepy?
Just take the bean,
animal?
Calypso. Just take the bean.
I'll take the bean.
They'll surprise you. They're a lot more intelligent than you'd imagine. And give them credit for.
I forgot Sundowner likes ghouls. How unfortunate.
So we need your memory back in the Discord. You may be out of the loop. Welcome back. Get back into the loop again, sir. There are others that have been missing. Ghouls can be very deceptive. Yes, they can. If you listen to the Chronicles, they're a lot more deceptive. The only thing is Alaric's hubris that defeats him, because he says, I will not be bested by something that moves about on all 4s. You were, sir. You were. Quite frequently and regularly.
I can easily see a young Alaric with a kid, and he says the exact same thing, like a little baby crawling around. I will not be bested by something that poops its pants and crawls around on all 4s. Come back here, baby. Come back.
No, the ghouls are a lot more intelligent than people give them credit for, because the only thing they see is the mindless consumption. They don't realize that that's a means to an end.
What if they're like super undead velociraptors and are like really, really smart, and they're just playing up on the dumb animal trope that everybody has given them because they're ghouls.
You
Like, what if
heard in
they're
the
one of the most
Chronicle,
smart-
they
what if
understand
they're
speech.
yeah, what if they're the smartest? Like, what if they're super smart and what's it called? Like plannable, and gosh, uh, tactile. What if they're really like tactical? And everything is according to plan. They're like one of the most like militaristic factions out of all of the undead, because of just their nature of a ghoul, or whatever it is to be a ghoul, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, sure, the ravenous hunger gets to them sometimes,
Like a
but
vampire.
yeah, like a vampire.
They have it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Safi was commenting on your Alaric impression. That
Is
voice
it
fits the
people?
mustache.
Oh, twirly mustache. That voice. Why? Thank you.
And Reb asking, people be judging ghouls by their covers? Yes, they are. Twitch Sundowner comments, we got two minds, my dude, like a Saiyan fusion dance. That's something a lot of people forget. Most undead are not one entity. The whites are not.
Yeah, and
The
didn't we? Has
ghouls
it been
most certainly
discussed?
are not.
Has it been discussed that ghouls are like a hive mind? Maybe did we talk about that?
There's ways that we're not too sure how they communicate, but they are intelligent, and there is them and their spirit in them. They are possessed by a spirit of hunger. Kind of. Possessed might be the wrong word.
Yeah.
The ghoul is two things within itself. It's
That's so
difficult to
cool.
explain. You'll
Yeah.
see. You will see.
We shall see.
In time, Kane. Next time.
And
with that, we will be wrapping.
We are going to be wrapping up. So until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. You can find the links for the stuff that we mentioned down below. I'm going to re-edit this video and re-upload it to YouTube and everything. But thanks for watching. I'm Calypso and your other host, Faceless Mike, per usual. You can find us all on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Ooh, I have our captions for that.
Captions for that. You can
check
find
out
Deadhaus. Huh?
Yep, you can check us out at deadhousenata.com.
Yep.
Putting them all up on our screen here. You can follow Calypso on Twitter at the Necrolibriatus.
Yep. You can follow Faceless Mike on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at The Faceless Mike. And of course, Deadhaus Whispers. We are on YouTube. Hopefully, you'll be watching this on our YouTube channel, Deadhaus Whispers. We are also on Spotify. You can follow that. Just search Deadhaus Whispers. And alternatively, if you want to search up Dennis Dyack on Spotify, our episodes with him will appear. I did that the other day. So yeah,
we had Dennis at the end of season 2, which should be one of the videos here on the YouTubes if you want to go check it out. And we will also be having him back in the very near future.
Yes. So look forward to all that stuff, guys. Feel free to share this with your friends. Tell your friends about it. Get the word out about Deadhaus Whispers and Deadhaus Sonata out however you can. And if you would like to support us, me or Mike, and this channel, you can find links for all that stuff down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
And we will catch you next time.
Catch you next time.
See ya.
See ya.